Hello, boy.
Hello.
Hello, boy.
Hello.
Should we do a podcast?
Hello, boyo. Let's do a podcast.
Fucking go, son.
Ah.
Hi. It's a sunny day, so the lighting's completely screwed, but we were not going to record in a hot room elsewhere in the house, so you're just going to have to deal with it. Welcome to Big Damn, a pop culture podcast where two white, northern English-speaking gentlemen talk about popular culture stuff, because that's never been done before.
Never.
And I think the world probably needs more.
I think the world needs more of our white, mostly straight.
We're being
Sicilians.
sarcastic,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
We're being sarcastic. But we like to talk about shite, and it's much more fun to do it with you guys too.
Yes.
My name is Chris Marble Arch Johnson.
My name is Jackie Daytona, regular human bartender.
That's very, very true. I wonder if the subtitle on the screen will say that. Chris and Matt here. It's
Yes,
nice
hello.
to meet you or re-meet you.
Oh, yes.
We used to do a show called Big Damn Cast. Oh, that's a familiar sounding name. Almost too similar to this one. But this is a refresh. This is a new jumping on point. We read comics.
We do.
Every now and again, comic books will do a big
Yeah.
event or renumber to issue 1
Yeah.
as a jumping on point. Consider this a jumping on point.
All new, all different Big Damn.
Yeah. It's also visual. If you're listening to this as a
Yeah.
podcast, you're kind of missing out because now it's got a visual component, including special effects like this. Oh, did you see that? I don't know what's going to be there because I'm adding it in later.
Oh, my word.
It could be anything right now.
It's
A creeping kid.
for my movie.
Creeping kid.
I'm not superimposing a creeping kid on
You
there.
just got to dub it in later. So
No matter how much you love Eddie Izzard, I'm not
you
putting
gotta,
a creeping
you gotta
kid.
do your best impersonation of me and dub it in.
Great. Fantastic.
It's
Christ alive.
a green screen.
We've got a bunch of stuff in store, including...
Matt regales us with tales of his time at the Download Festival 2022. Chris has been binging Jason Aaron's Mighty Thor. What should we do with an Ezra Miller? And the first ever Big Damn Challenge.
Before
Wow.
That was good. Is that a reaction to the contents
Yeah,
menu?
yeah. Wow. I've never seen that before.
You haven't seen anything. I've
I've
edited it later.
literally never seen it.
But before we begin...
Very punchy. Number 1. Here we go.
Good stuff. Before we begin, it's an inaugural journey.
Yes.
I think that's an excuse to drink.
Yes.
So I said, what do you want to drink while we're recording? And you
I
said,
let's be celebratory and let's get a beer.
yeah. So I
Unfortunately.
decided... Oh, right. Well, yeah, unfortunately, we're not sponsored, but if they'd like to, I'll have it. All I've got in is Stella Artois, s'il vous plaît. It's Belgian, though, isn't it?
Yeah, they speak
Yes,
French
it's-
in Belgium.
Okay. In Belgium, Belgians.
That's why Jean-Claude Van Damme is French.
But I don't have...
He's not, he's Belgian.
He's not. But he can do the splits.
Yeah.
I
No
don't
problem, he's
have... I don't have 2 big round beer glasses. Stella is... This is where I get snobbish, right? So, Stella should be drunken, or dranked, or consumed from rounded beer glasses, because the way the bubbles...
Oh, like a chalice glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like to call them like fat wine glasses, because it just looks like a wine glass but on a load of weight.
It's chalice glass.
Yeah.
Chalice.
Fat wines. And
Fat.
the way the bubbles work in Stella, it's one of those beers where it like bubbles up from the bottom, and the best way to drink it is with that curved glass. Now, I don't have 2 of those,
Okay.
and it's 2022. We're still in a pandemic. I am not supping from the same font as you.
I'm still waiting to find out where these come in.
But I do have 2 identical plastic tabards. These things are from, to describe them to the listener, these are round tabards with a big, thick, with 2 C's handle. These are from Denmark. They are specifically from a place called Christiana, or Christianas.
Looks like it says Nemo Land to me.
Well, that's the bar.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the bar, you see. Do you know what? I'm double checking. It's Christiana or Christianas.
Christiana.
Christiana is a self-governing society that you can find in Copenhagen.
Okay.
Not Copenhagen. Get it right. And I visited there years ago for a job. And on our last night in Copenhagen, we popped to Christiana. as it is a self-governing society, you
Yes.
enter it
Yes.
and you check in your phone to make sure that it's turned off before you enter.
Okay.
If you want to take pictures, you've got to bring a digital camera or disposable camera. You're not allowed to bring a phone in to take photos. At least when I went there, could be different now. But the reason for that is, even though it's a self-governing society, it's also a green light district. So people are getting stoned and getting high and all that sort of stuff within this small community.
Cool.
And they don't want... Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's legal to do it there, but it's not, like, legal to show that you've done it, if that makes any sense. You can say to people, oh, I went in there and got high, but you can't go, here's footage of it
Yeah, you don't post...
on my phone because I'm, like, live broadcasting me doing it. Like,
If you are David Hasselhoff,
Yes.
it is perfectly okay
Yeah.
to get blasted drunk and eat a burger on your hotel room floor. What it's not okay to do is have the video of you doing that
And send it out to the world.
leak out.
Or just leak out.
Yeah.
It's not legal to leak.
It's
But,
it's not cool.
So these mugs were from a bar where you paid an extortionate amount of money for your initial beer.
Yeah.
But that's because every top-up was like equivalent of £1,
Okay.
and you get to keep the mug.
Okay.
So you're paying for the mug, and the mug is what gets you refills from the bar.
Okay.
You might be wondering why the handle looks like some kind of big cigarette-shaped funnel.
Oh. That explains it.
Yeah,
That's
it's a thick boy.
That's a
It's
big
a
old
thick,
doobie.
thick old, yeah. So all I'll say is I went there, and I have one of these mugs. There
I
we
did
go.
not go there.
He did not go there yet. I'll find time to take you. It'll be magical. We'll go there.
We'll go there.
We'll eat what do they eat in Denmark? Food. And we will sup from plastic fonts.
Spelled Stella on me jeans.
Yeah, because you got to smell like you've been to a pub.
I've just come back from download. I do smell like I've been to a
Can
pub.
we start with that, please?
No.
You went to the Download Festival.
I went to Download Festival. 2022.
In the year of our Lord.
The year of our Lord.
2020's 2022 Download Festival.
The 19th annual Download Festival, except there wasn't one in 2020. So I guess it's the 18th annual Download Festival. And also, there wasn't really a proper one in 2021. There was the pilot. So I guess it's the 17th annual Download Festival. Next year's the 20th anniversary, so they're going to do it for 4 days. And let me tell you, 3 days is already too much.
Sorry, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that we both give terrible head. And the thing is, you've pulled pints. Like, you should be able to do that smoothly.
Yeah, I only did it under protest.
I will do it well if I'm being paid to do it well. Fair point.
I'm doing it for myself. I don't
Fair
care.
point.
I
I think the only time I ever pulled a pint was at one of your workplaces. You went, go on, pour that one. I was like, okay.
pour that one.
It was like the end of the night. I don't give a shit. You went, go on, you pour that one.
I don't
All right.
remember any of that. It's probably why.
Chin chin. Chin chin. For those listening along at home, we just slapped each other's genitals together.
Yes, you can see it now.
Mm.
So unless you're listening to the Spotify version, if you're watching the video version, you can see it. You can see it. You can see what we're doing.
Oh, it tastes like it's out of a plastic mug
They
that was
say.
brought back from a self-governing society 6 years ago. Mm.
So yeah, I went to download.
Someone had to.
I went down on the Wednesday, camped Wednesday, Thursday. The festival didn't actually start till Friday properly. So I spent all of Wednesday and Thursday.
But you're a new parent. You were like, I'm just going to get out of the house.
Well, yeah. Yeah, because me and my dad usually go down together. My dad's in his 50s now. I'm in my mid-30s. I wasn't last time I went to download. Last time I went to download was 2016. So I was 28.
Really? Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Was that when you brought back the big old horn?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just to reiterate, I mean a drinking horn. I'm not saying you just came back with a big erection.
I've gotten a bit
But
older than that since then.
We've set a tone,
Well, yeah,
so
we
people
have
could
set a tone.
assume. Yeah.
And I've got a bit older since then. I've had a baby since then. Oh, well, I didn't give birth, but you know what I mean.
He would if he could have.
So, yes. So I spent 5 days panicking because I wasn't home with my daughter. And
You wuss.
drinking very expensive beer. It wasn't quality beer, it was just expensive beer.
It's just
Um,
there was a lot of it, but they weren't giving you the big lot. They were giving you tiny plastic cups, in
And-
it, I imagine.
and traipsing around a field to listen to the 5 bands that I was interested in that were playing across the 3 days of the festival.
Yes.
No, I did have a good time, actually. I make it sound like I had a horrible time, but really I was just kind of preoccupied. But it was a hell of a time. The weather was punishing, as you can see if you're watching the visual one. I don't know what it shows up, actually, but I am.
We've white balanced the camera, and yet Matt is still somehow the same colour as beetroot.
I am incredibly sunburnt. I don't tan.
Normally we white balance it off of Matt's face.
I don't tan even at the best of times, but this was 3 solid days of just baking heat.
Jeez.
And also that sort of weird weather where it's breezy as well as sunny. So you're baking in the heat, but you don't notice.
You could be sat in the shade,
cool breeze.
yeah, and still be cooking.
Yeah.
Good
Although if you're in the
Lord.
shade, you're alright. It's just that even in the sunlight, even if it feels cool, you are cooking. But yeah, I did have a great time, to be fair. Highlights. Actually, the problem that I had was that a lot of the bands I wanted to see were spread out across the 3 days.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a solid day. The Saturday, the second day was the closest to it being like, okay, I want to see every band that's on today. But Friday, really, the only band I was massively interested in was Skindred, who I got to see on the main stage and were fabulous. Kiss were headlining that day. Kiss a Kiss. If you like Kiss, you will enjoy a Kiss show. If you don't like Kiss, they're still Kiss.
Which download was this for you?
This is my 4th.
Wow, so you should be doing more than Kiss on the 4th.
Yeah, well, terrible.
Don't let society or media pressure you into thinking that there are certain deadlines you have to meet for dating situations. Move at your own pace, folks.
But Kiss one.
You don't have to make out with Peter Criss on the 3rd date.
Well, you don't, especially now because he's not in Kiss anymore.
He's got all the time in the world.
Yeah,
for it then.
exactly.
You think that you want to make out with Gene Simmons, but like
the only original members are Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley.
really?
Yeah, the other 2, they're wearing the makeup for Ace Frehley and Peter Criss, but it's not Ace Frehley and Peter Criss.
Fair, I think. Like there's this theatrical element to it all already, so like fair dues.
Yeah. It's just the weird thing though is that when they've had new members come in before, they've had different makeup.
Oh, right, okay.
But since the original lineup got back together, since those 2 members have now left, it's different people in the same makeup, in the same sort of personas.
Yeah, I mean, again, like it being theatrical and fake people, I suppose you could get away with it.
Kiss has been a...
Like Slipknot. If Slipknot interchanged members, I wouldn't be completely miffed if they wore the same stuff.
Listen, Kiss did their first farewell tour 19 years ago. So...
Jesus. That's a long kiss goodbye.
I was just impressed that they were still playing. But it was a bit... It was just a bit naff.
It was a bit Kiss, wasn't it?
It was just a bit naff, wasn't it? Gene Simmons sticking his tongue out every 5 seconds.
I've never gelled with them.
I've never gelled with Kiss.
Their image suggests something a lot heavier than what they bring.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really, really weird.
Do you remember...
Like how Alice Cooper is quite a wholesome
Yeah.
guy, but his stage persona isn't.
No.
And the songs aren't. There's some wholesome... Like, his most notable hit is one about, yay, it's the end of school!
Yeah.
Like, but, you know, everything else is very much a gothic, theatrical, like, you know, dark style.
Yeah.
It's a show.
Yeah, totally.
And Kiss are like, you look at them. I think the first time I looked at them, I saw them as a kid, like an image of them was like, they look terrifying. Like they're like glam rock bounty hunters from outer space who've come to punch me in the teeth. Like, who are these guys? And then I heard like, what a rock and roll all night. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just not enough, is it?
It'd be like going to, you know, freaking, you know, going to Disturbed and they play the wheels on the bus.
Oh, wow. The wheels on the bus go. Oh, wow. So,
I buy that
you remember
pretty well.
Metalocalypse, right?
Yeah, the animated show.
Yeah, you remember...
Cartoon Network Adult Swim.
You remember Dr. Roxo, the Rock and Roll Clown?
Dr. Roxo! Yes.
That is exactly what Paul Stanley sounds like.
What?
In between his between song banter is like, okay, ooh, that was real good, but I know it's only gonna start getting better. Oh yeah, I'm Paul Stanley. I did cocaine!
Well, yeah,
Dr.
Rockrow, the rock and roll clown, is Paul Stanley.
Was that like a backwards revelation for you?
Yeah.
Something like, oh,
Yeah.
I get it even more now.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Mein Gott im Himmel.
Ooh, we're gonna need you to sing along with this one. It's called Lit It Up. That's what he sounds like. That's the Paul Stanley.
What's the reverse of an erection? Because that's what I've got right now.
Well, you said it yourself. So yeah, Friday was like, yeah, this is fun, but you know, one band that I really wanted to see, and so on. Saturday was better because Saturday was Black Label Society on the main stage. It was Shinedown on the main stage. It was Creeper on the Avalanche stage, third stage, and it was Iron Maiden headlining. But
Never heard of
the only problem was that Creeper, Deftones, Mastodon, all playing that day. I'm like, yes! All playing at the same time on different stages.
Ah.
So it's like, I've seen Mastodon, I've seen Deftones, I've not seen Creeper, and I really want to see Creeper. So I went to see Creeper, and they were fucking awesome. It's like one of those bands where you're like, they're headliners in 5 years' time. Like, it's where they are. They're just excellent. Like, every person in that tent knew every word to every song, was having the palm of the hand. They was doing, they're doing Misery. If you know the song Misery, you know that there's towards the end, there's a bit where the music cuts out and it goes vocal only for a little bit. So when they did that, the music cut out, the band stopped because they were going to leave it for a little. They were going to like let it hang, do the right thing, and then the crowd just finished the song. While the band are just like, fuck. All right.
That'll do.
And then finished the song.
Funnily enough, that's how we're going to make this podcast work, by the way.
No, okay.
For those listening at home, we just stopped talking.
Yeah. We've got to get used to this sort of dual format thing. Yeah, Iron Maiden were Iron Maiden. Yeah, yes, it's Iron Maiden, they're great. You know what the deal is. They put on a hell of a live show. What are you going to do? And then Sunday was
Listen to it, I imagine.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Watch it.
What are you going to do? Pay attention?
What are you going to do? Then Sunday was weird. Sunday was weird because Biffy Clyro were headlining on Sunday.
Right.
Now, I have no particular ire towards Biffy Clyro. But I also have no love for Biffy Clyro, and I just think that they're not a download headliner band. But this is the second time they've done it.
So, like, if Biffy Clyro were the support act at the start of a gig for someone you come to see, you wouldn't mind showing up late and going to queue and get your beer.
By the same token, I probably watch them enjoy. You know, I've still managed to hear a fair bit from the campsite. Spoiler, I didn't stick around for Biffy Clyro. But yeah, it was a bit weird. There was not much going on those stages, but what I did see the stuff I wanted to see, which was Powerwolf and Ailstorm on the main stage. Powerwolf are, I think, the Scandinavian sort of.
I thought they were going to be a Megazord based on that name.
Sort of gothic Catholic flavored power metal that are exactly as stupid as you think they're going to be and great fun. And Ailstorm are the pirate metal drinking crew. They are here to drink your booze.
Okay.
With such wonderful tunes as Your Pirate Ship can eat a bag of dicks.
Can it now?
Your pirate ship can eat a big old bag of dicks.
Okay, I'll take it.
Of course, made all the funnier by the fact that the viewing area for testable goals with disabilities has a sign interpreter for the lyrics. So there was video out there of the sign interpreter signing, "Your pirate ship can eat a bag of dicks. Your pirate ship can eat a big old bag of dicks." And it's just wonderful to watch.
That's going to be a wonderful
silly
career to have. Let's be honest.
The centerpiece of their stage was a giant inflatable rubber duck.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll show you pictures after this. You can put them in the edit. Your pirate sheep. Pirate sheep. I just keep saying pirate sheep.
I'll be honest. Giant
I've forgotten
duck.
how to speak.
Giant duck. Pirate sheep. Seems like it fits. Some kind of demented zoo of rock and roll. Who's on the bass? Who's the farm animal that's not getting slept with?
Well,
No offense to bassists out there, but you're watching this podcast and not out there getting laid. So my point is proven.
it's a lie. And then what did I finish with on the Sunday? I finished with The Darkness.
Yeah, okay. But, Snap. I've seen them.
Second headline.
I've seen them live.
On the second stage.
Yeah, they're pretty good live. They've got a
good
nice
live.
energy.
And I'd seen them live previously. I saw them live in 2018.
Oh.
Down at
Yeah, I
Academy.
think that's when I saw best gig I've ever been to in terms of like singular gig.
Mhm.
It was The Damned as the first support, and already I was like, wait, what? Their first support,
Yeah,
The
all
Damned,
right. The Damned.
then The Darkness, and then Hollywood Vampires, the supergroup, was the main act.
Oh, I saw The Darkness on their own at the Academy.
How could you see them? How could you see The Darkness, Matt?
Well, not for very long because I was so tired at that point. I was like, let's go back to the tent, eat the last bits of tin stuff we've got, drink some more beers, and then we can go in the morning. And we're like, all right, yeah, let's do that instead. So yeah, I had a great time, but man, I think I'm past it for festivals now.
Oh God, has it happened?
I think it's happened.
But like,
Maybe my head was just in baby space. But
well, that's the thing.
It was
right?
a lot harder.
It was
than
your
has been the
first
previous year.
like big trip. It was your first trip away, full stop, really,
Yeah.
since becoming a dada.
Yeah.
So
Becoming papa.
it's getting used to that. But you're saying, oh, I think I'm past the age now. But who's it you go to the festivals with?
My dad.
Your dad?
He's in his 50s, yeah.
So what this says is that in about 14, 15
yeah,
years' time,
I'll be good to go again.
you'll be taking your wee baba.
I think that's
to
one of those.
festivals.
I don't think I'm going to go next year, but because it's 4 days.
Mm.
If I do go next year, I might get a day ticket. But it was one of those where I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see all of these bands. So why am I here for all of this weekend? But it was good
Because you
know.
really like tinned
I
peaches.
do like Tin Peaches.
You absolutely
no,
love
it was good, but it was good.
chopped veg in a tin.
The best bits of it were like, this is a camping holiday with my dad. Hey, this
Yeah.
is cool. And coincidentally, there happened to be some really good bands playing and some okay bands playing. But
And Biffy Clyro, who you
Biffy
hate.
Clyro. I don't hate Biffy Clyro. I just don't think they should be headlining Download. It just is an odd choice. Yeah,
He hates Biffy Clyro.
I do hate it.
We
No,
learned
no.
that. I'm sorry, Biffy.
It's like when you look at the bill and you see the Biffy Clyro are headlining above Korn.
Okay, yeah, I've got an issue with that.
It's weird, isn't it? It's
That's
weird.
Mm.
It is weird.
But I'm a dirty mosher, though, so that I would find that weird.
Dude. Again, I went to the Darkness because I'd already seen Korn.
I've never seen
I'd already seen the Darkness.
the
to be
full
fair.
lineup of Korn. One of them was off ill.
Oh,
when
yeah.
I went to see
Okay.
him. So they're still on my bingo sheet.
I mean,
I
I've lost track of
like
what...
seeing them, and I like seeing them afterwards when they come back out.
Mm.
You got it.
This is why we stopped. And then this guy, this bright spark, said, let's do some more. Jesus. Right. So that's my download review. That's what we... Oh, sorry, man. I didn't realise that your hand was there.
Her hand?
That's what I've been doing. What are we doing? What are we doing?
The dog's hand?
Yeah.
Never had.
The front paw, whatever.
Front paw.
You can't sort. You call her a baby.
She is a baby.
I've got an actual baby.
That's
They're not
true.
the same thing.
Which is better? There's only one way to find out.
Fight!
We're going to get controversial. First episode, and we're going to talk about controversial topics. I'm sorry, but the world is controversial.
What controversial topic could we possibly be talking about on this inaugural, second inaugural episode of this of this pop culture podcast?
It's episode 1, but if you look really closely underneath, it says Legacy 301.
yeah,
Um,
LGY 301. I think
LGY,
it's
that's
fine.
true. That's true.
LGY.
I've been reading. Tangent. I've been reading a shitload of Jason Aaron's Thor.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Oh my god! Like, so it starts with Thor: God of Thunder in like 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't huge on I love the JMS Thor.
Yeah.
I wasn't. See, we've gone from music to comics. It's pop culture. I wasn't sure about Matt Fraction's Thor. I didn't fall in love with that run.
Sure.
And I kind of left it and
It's fine.
went to
Yeah,
read
it's fine.
Kieran Gillen's offshoot with Journey into Mystery and Kid Loki, and then that led into me reading Young Avengers, that
That's
year
the
run.
good shit.
It's
right
amazing.
See Kieran Gillen's name on a comic book, you're in for a good time.
And then I remember you recommending to me to read Jason Aaron's Thor.
Oh,
And I didn't get around
yes.
to it. And
Yes.
but I wanted to. And then a friend of mine, author, he's writing a load of Star Wars High Republic stuff at the minute, Cavan Scott.
I've read some of his High Republic stuff on Marvel Limited, and it's very good.
He's a good egg, isn't he? He does some good stuff. Wrote an amazing Ninth Doctor comic book for Titan Comics for Doctor Who. And he said, "You've never read it?" Because it came up in our conversation. I went, no, I've just not managed to pick it up yet. And then an Amazon parcel arrived a few days later with God Butcher in it. And he went, "You're welcome." So I read it back then, like 2016, 2017 when we had that conversation. And I really enjoyed it, but I didn't manage to carry on. God Butcher ends on a cliffhanger because it's part 1 of 2.
Yes.
I recently, about 7 months ago, got Marvel Unlimited.
Yes.
Which is one of the best decisions I've ever made as a comic reader. I like physical stuff. I like physical media. That's why I'm not just imposing a graphic. There's a green screen here in the room. I like tactile things. But it's expensive to keep up a comics hobby. Because if you're picking up singles off the rack and you've not got like a solid income like I do as a freelancer, like it's risky because you might pick up something that you don't enjoy. So you're kind of sentencing yourself to go in, "Oh, I just wasted £3 on that comic."
Yeah, you kind of have to go after the characters that you like and the creators that you like. But you have
But
to
even
be very
then,
selective.
Even then, you don't know if it's going to be something you dig.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's my soap opera and has been for years. Since getting Marvel Unlimited, I've been so thankful because if I'd had spent and I worked it out, it would have been around about £140 on the Nick Spencer stuff I didn't have. I would have hated myself because I hated that run.
I'm sad to hear that.
There was stuff I liked at the beginning of it, and there was
I
ideas I really
Yeah.
liked, but by the end I was like, I'm glad this is over. And I'm currently reading the Spider-Man Beyond era. I'm like, if I'd have picked this up in a paperback, I would have been really upset that I'd spent the money on it. So the fact that I'm not spending any extra money on it and reading it on the Marvel Unlimited service makes me happy. So when I got it, I ran through She-Hulk, the Dan Slott era, and then the era that followed, which was, it was a Hulk writer and he took over. I want to say Peter something, but I'm not sure that's right.
Peter David.
I think Peter David took over after Dan Slott. Someone did.
Yeah,
and it was a good run. And then I read through Caught Up on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then I read through Venom, and I've read the majority of like Donny Cates' run on Venom, and I'm now into the modern one, but I'm taking my time. And I was like, while I'm waiting for stuff to bank up, Fantastic Four as well, I will read.
It's very good.
Oh my god, the wedding of Ben and Alicia and all that stuff.
Good.
So
It's
good.
very,
And
very good.
the freaking honeymoon issue with the Immortal Hulk being puppeteered by Puppet Master.
That's very good.
So good. I decided I'll go back and finish Thor. So I'll reread The God Butcher because Thor: Love and Thunder's out this summer. I'll read The God Butcher.
Gore's going to be in there.
Oh my god, I've flown through it.
I've not
God
read
of
all of it.
Thunder?
I've only read the first volume of the Mighty Thor.
Oh yeah,
Jane
because it
Foster
starts off as Thor: God of Thunder,
Yeah,
and then it becomes Mighty Thor.
which is the first Jane Foster.
Jane Foster, which is incredible.
Yeah.
So you read the first volume. So your volume is predicated on you not knowing who she is.
No.
And then in the last issue of that volume,
Yeah.
finding out it's Jane Foster. Yeah.
I know I knew before I read it who she was.
I'd read Avengers
Yeah.
books with her in, so
Yeah.
I was aware of what was
So,
going on.
but
But
yeah.
it was still cool to read because it's the
was.
mystery from Thor Odinson's point of view.
Yeah.
And then that tail ends into Secret Wars, but they don't really cover it in that book because then the book temporarily becomes Thor's, which is so good, a police procedural.
A lot of that
starring...
Secret Wars tie stuff was really.
Oh, it was amazing. The Battle World stuff, like the battle, like oh my god, like Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows is still one of the most like popular ones. The ongoing of that was mixed, but like the one-off series was amazing. Thor's is great, and the fact that the Ultimate Universe ends, but Ultimate Thor gets kind of a final story in a way, and then that bleeds over because then Thor. I think it's just Thor after that point.
Yeah.
But it's still Jane's book.
Yeah.
And then it gets to issue what would have been in the Legacy like 700 or 600.
Yeah.
And that's when it renumbers after that. Or it stays on that and then it goes back to number 1 after Jane gives up the mantle. But Oh my god. It is some of the best comic books I've ever read.
It's a bit good.
And I'm just going to say now, if anyone's like, we've been asked before,
Bit good.
where do I start on comics? Like, I don't know where to begin. Pick up Thor, the God Butcher, and Thor, God of Thunder, the God Butcher, and Thor, God of Thunder, the God Bomb.
Or just Thor, God of Thunder by Jason Aaron. Because they do it in trade paperbacks, they do it in the Ultimate Collections, which are the double-sized ones.
Yeah.
But it's Thor, God of Thunder, but written by Jason Aaron.
And
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that arc, those two stories are one story, that it's like in two halves, with a little addendum issue in the middle. Oh, you know, that first, like, 11 issues is just the Gore story, but it's in two halves.
Yes.
Thor investigating the mystery and flashbacks and flash forwards.
Mostly
then in the
by
middle,
Assad Ribic, but not
Yes,
entirely.
yeah.
Can't remember who the other lead artist is on that.
There's a couple who leap in around that time. And then the middle story is a story about Gore. And then God Bomb, which is the second half, is the conclusion. I know Christian Bale is playing him in Thor Love and Thunder. I hope so hard that the comics don't do what they tend to do and bring the character back because he's in a movie. Gore's effect is felt long after his story's done.
Yes.
He is the reason, even though he's long dead by this point, he is the reason Jane takes up the hammer. Because Thor can no longer lift it. Because of what is whispered to Thor.
Yes.
And it's all to do with Gore and Gore's philosophy. And it would suck if they brought him back. It really would suck if they brought him back. This stuff's amazing. Highlights, without going too spoiler heavy, because I just want people to read it. I think it's amazing. The whole Thor lore in the comics is really dived into without being too overwhelming in his run. That first story, the Gore story, is focused on Thor. Over time, elements of Asgardia and Broxton and New Asgard and all these things start getting introduced. If you're a Loki fan, calm your tits. You don't see him for a while. But when he enters into the story, it's like, oh, this is good. This is interesting. I like this. The Warriors 3 are a recurring bit part, but Volstagg gets a very significant story at one point.
Yep.
Which is heartbreaking and some of the most badass stuff I've ever seen drawn in a comic.
Yep.
The Mighty Thor's final stand against the Mangog is one of the best action set pieces I have ever seen in a comic book. It is stunning. It is beautiful. It's a comic that doesn't take any of it too seriously.
The Mangog.
But believes in the world that it's set in.
The Mangog.
The Mangog. Who burns with the hatred of a billion lost souls. I love how it's always described as a billion. It's never a billion, it's a billion. You read that and you go, oh, okay.
That's
a
billion.
That's a lot of hatred. Okay. Oh, shoot.
Isn't a billion a quadrillion?
It's a Mangog, is what it is.
It's a Mangog!
It's a Mangogillion. That stuff is incredible. The Viking Thor and King Thor subplots are wonderful.
Yeah.
Just these glimpses into a past that was and a future that might be. Especially later on when Thor Odinson becomes the lead of the book again, and it tells a story set in King Thor's time of him encountering the Phoenix Force in a dying universe.
Ooh.
And when you find out who the Phoenix Force is living in, you're like, okay, I buy that.
See, I've not read that, so I'm looking forward to that. My personal favourite the Viking Thor story is the one with the dragon.
That one's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really good. What you think is a very obvious, ye olde warrior versus a dragon story turns out to be something a lot sillier.
But also still very sad.
And really gory.
Yeah.
My God, yeah. Just the opening few pages. You're just like, wait, are we really doing this? Oh my God, we're doing this. I love that stuff. I adore that stuff. And all of it is a story as a slow burn story arc.
Yeah.
That begins in Mighty Thor. Well, it begins toward the end of God of Thunder. The
second half of God of Thunder, yeah.
Second half of God of Thunder reintroduces Malekith the Accursed. Now, those of you out there are just like, oh, I like these characters, but like I've not read the comics, whatever. Which one's that one? Have I seen him in anything? Yeah, Christopher Eccleston was given nothing to work with to play the character in the film Thor: The Dark World.
The Dark World?
What he was playing was not really Malekith.
No.
It was like Malekith is born of war, in that the Dark Elves were always at war when he was a child and he was enlisted and thrown into the forces.
Yeah.
But like, he wasn't the stuffy generals leading the war.
No.
In the Dark World, that's what he is.
Which is not...
Malekith becomes sadistic and nasty and starts learning like dark magics.
Where was that in Thor: The Dark World?
Well, he makes the ether move around at the end a bit, and then his face gets burned a bit, so it's kind of like half and half, like it is in the comics.
Early 2000s
cowardice
book movie bullshit. That's
cowardice.
What that is. Yeah.
Like 3 movies after we had the Red Skull in a film. Like, why are you suddenly holding back in the Dark World?
You can do it. Why are you holding back?
Malekith's like if Loki and the Joker had a baby. Like, he's sort of between
that's
those...
the plot for the Joker sequel.
One thing I love about this run too is that the artist does that thing that some artists have tried before and gotten away with, where they kind of use a real world person's likeness in the illustrations.
Yeah, okay.
So Brian Hitch, the Ultimates, Nick Fury is just Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, prior to that, he'd appeared in Ultimate Spider-Man and was not Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
And then it's just blatantly Samuel L. Jackson in the Ultimates. Mike Deodato Jr., around the time of Dark Avengers, Norman Osborn's Tommy Lee Jones.
Distractingly so.
Distractingly, it's just Tommy Lee Jones. In this run, the artists draw, because this is resurrected, slightly older than Kid Loki. It's Tom Hiddleston. It's just Tom Hiddleston's face. He's got stubble. He's got a different outfit, but it's Tom Hiddleston. And best of all, and I like this, Malekith is Chris Eccleston. If you're watching this, look at it. If you're listening to this, use your imagination or Google. But that's Chris Eccleston. That's Christopher Eccleston's face.
Oh my.
So you kind of get to see what would have happened if he was playing actual Malekith. It's a fantastic run that builds up to an event called the War of Realms, which I'd read tie-ins to through Venom and Fantastic Four.
Yes.
I did not realise that the War of Realms takes about 5 years to happen. Jason Aaron seeds it in 2015, 2016, and then it finally happens in 2019. I've just finished the War of Realms. It's great.
See, I've only read the tie-in. I've only read the Fantastic Four tie-in.
Which is fun.
Which is fun.
Which
but
is really
I have
fun.
no idea what happens.
And the Venom
in War of
one's a ton of fun. And in Venom 1, the Venom symbiote's not with Eddie Brock, and he's trying to protect his son Dylan, and it's like, what's happened? You find out what's happened to the symbiote
It's that one.
in War of Realms.
Right, okay.
And War of Realms serves as a sort of like a teaser for the King in Black, the event that came afterwards.
Right, okay.
Which I didn't realise. Right down to how Malekith looks in the final issue. It's good shit. If you listen to this show and you're not reading some comics, please go read some Jason Aaron, Thor: God of Thunder, and work your way from there. You will not regret it. Especially when you read Unworthy Thor and you get to Thori the Murderous Dog, because I'd missed him. I'd forgotten how much I missed him from Journey into Mystery and everything. But there he was.
Hey, but we're getting Tooth Grinder and Tooth Gnasher in Thor: Love and Thunder.
We are.
So we are getting some, Thor-related animals soon.
The goats. Literally. From comic books to comic book movies. Oh, that's a thing. Did you know they make those?
What?
I know, right?
We've never had one of those before.
Well, do you know what we've definitely never had before?
What's that?
A comic book movie star trying to actively destroy their career in real time?
Oh.
As of this recording, Ezra Miller, star of the D.C.E.U. and actor portraying The Flash, have been accused of acts of violence, violent threats, property destruction. These are things that they have been charged for and like talked to by the police.
Actors usually have this whole superhero movie renaissance after they've tanked their careers.
Yeah.
It usually goes the other way around.
Yeah, like...
That's how Robert Downey Jr. did it.
Yeah, like, I made some mistakes, I'm making up for them, I'm getting better, and now I'm a superhero. or you have very unproblematic actors in those roles. Like, for the most part, touch wood, as of this recording, people like Henry Cavill, people like Michael Keaton, Chris Evans, massive example, Dave Bautista,
John Cena!
Margot Robbie. Like, you have people tentpoling these franchises that mostly appeal to younger audiences.
You know,
Keep
John
that in
Cena
mind.
holds the record for the most Make-A-Wish Foundations completed.
Yeah, he still hasn't answered mine. I just have to break more limbs. Usually, you are cast because of your ability, but it's a massive kind of, can we just check? Do you have any scandals on the horizon? Or have you done some shit that could be perceived as a bad thing when tied into this franchise?
It's not working out well for Warner Brothers at the moment.
No.
But I don't want to touch
Good
on
Lord.
the Aquaman-related one. I
Don't want to touch it.
I ain't
because
touching that with a... We commented on that in the last podcast, and I regret it.
we are
We
leaving
ain't touching that
We
one.
are leaving it be like it were a turd in a bed.
Yeah. You fucking bastard.
But here's the thing. Ezra Miller could be an incredible representative of some hugely kind of unacknowledged groups. Ezra Miller is non-binary, right? Like, oh my god, an NB actor playing one of the most famous superheroes from all of popular culture. That could be a wonderful thing. Turns out Ezra Miller is also allegedly.
I mean, at this point,
Allegedly,
there's a fair bit of evidence, let's be honest.
Ezra Miller has befriended a young person, because I believe they also identify as non-binary.
No, just stop.
Has befriended a young person and taken them away from their family. And it's like, that person's come forward since and gone, actually, no, I'm happy to have been here, and I'm happy to, I'm happy hanging out with Ezra. Like, this is what I want to do. But their parents have come forward and said they had no access to their phone, or their passport, or their own money. That doesn't sound to me like, oh, I'm totally fine here. That sounds to me like, I might totally be fine here, but the person I'm staying with has taken these things off of me that give me, like identity and the ability to go elsewhere.
See, for me, it's one of those things where is us putting people in these elevated, privileged positions enabling them to do this, or is this just something they would have done anyway? And I'm not sure which one's worse.
Well, Ezra Miller apparently befriended the individual in question back when they were making the first Fantastic Beasts movie. So that would have been in like 2015, 2016 when they were a child.
Yeah.
Now, it was a set visit. The
It's
family were
not
visiting the
cool.
set for whatever reason. It's not necessarily creepy. Ezra Miller keeping in touch with the family to be like, how have you guys been doing? Here's like a gift package or whatever. Or, we've got a film screening in that area. I'm inviting you guys out. Come and see it.
Yeah.
Like, that's not creepy. Keeping in touch with just the kid, that's creepy.
Although if you think back to, you saw Finding Neverland, didn't you? Leaving Neverland.
Yes, in the end. I did the ironing. I had to do other things at the same time.
That was allegedly part of Michael Jackson's MO, was meeting these families at a place like that and then keeping in touch with the family to the point and ingratiating himself with them to the point where they were comfortable letting him take the child. So,
well, that's the difference here is
Yeah,
they
it's
weren't comfortable with their kid going.
so
to
yeah,
Ezra.
okay.
So it seems like again, as of this recording, more revelations will probably come out. Like, all this stuff came out in like the last 3 days. It's entirely possible that the parents facilitated it and are now regretting it. It might not be a sinister thing. It might be a thing of like, they allowed it and then they've changed their minds because like it's press. Like, there could be any amount of reasons. We don't really know at the moment, but based on Ezra Miller's prior behaviour, it's kind of leaning toward them being a very problematic individual. Ezra Miller is the star, 2 roles mind, of the upcoming The Flash movie, which has been in production since 2016. Late 2016 was when pre-production happened on The Flash. Active pre-production began in 2017. It's gone through numerous directors, numerous writers. Ezra Miller has become producer on it, and they've co-written a version of the script that's the most common one used when different directors have been assigned to it, or new writers have been brought in, but they have to work off of Ezra's co-written draft. Like, Ezra is deeply involved in this thing outside of just being the star of it.
What did Ezra Miller do to get this much clout?
That's the thing, right? Because now it's like, surely this behaviour might have surfaced before. I don't know. We don't know. We'll never know
No.
until we know. It causes so many problems in terms of just like, we talked about the morality side. Ray Fisher's very rightly pushed an idea of accountability over entertainment.
Yeah.
But there are so many people involved in the D.C.E.U. and the Justice League specifically who are problematic individuals. And it's like, what? Like, all for different reasons and different degrees and varying levels. Jared Leto's involvement, Amber Heard's involvement, Gal Gadot's involvement, Ben Affleck's involvement. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of baggage. There are a lot of skeletons peeking out of closets and going, yahoo! Like, they're there.
It's true.
And it's like,
It's true.
we can't just hold Joss Whedon and Walter Hamada accountable. Like, that's got to be dealt with.
Yeah.
But then you've also got to deal with this other stuff too.
If you're going to clean house, you've got to clean house.
Exactly. Ezra Miller now, might tank this movie even further. Because The Flash, make no mistake,
It's
is
in the can.
It's a sunk cost as well.
Yeah. Not only is it...
An untouched version is nearly in the can. The reason for its delay, apparently, its last delay, its current delay,
Yeah.
is special effects work needed more time because visual effects artists working from home during initial coronavirus measures have not been able to achieve what they wanted to by a certain deadline. Same with Aquaman 2, apparently. Coincidentally, the two movies starring two very controversial public figures for various reasons.
As we speak, there are various
Rumours.
aren't they
Yeah.
reports coming out of whether a major character in Aquaman 2 is being recast.
Or heavily reduced.
Yes.
In the edit. Same with, of course, now The Flash.
There are various conflicting reports and rumours flying around.
Because it's like, what's going on with The Flash? Do you recast Ezra Miller? Do you recast Ezra Miller at the end of the movie? Because it's a film that was going to reset timelines.
Yeah.
It's got so much riding on it as far as the fans are concerned. It's the reintroduction of Michael Keaton as Batman, which is now going to be his second appearance in these movies, because Batgirl is still coming out on HBO Max before The Flash now. And he's in that.
I'm so
It's the
confused.
final appearance of Ben Affleck as Batman. It's in this movie. It's his goodbye from the franchise. It's the introduction of movie Supergirl. There is so much riding on this. But it's already a sunk cost movie. Unless it's a surprise hit like the first Aquaman was financially, this movie's a sunk cost film. Because of how much has been spent on various
I honestly
pre-productions.
don't think that anything they could do, even if this is a stone cold classic, I don't think there's anything that they can do to recoup the amount they've poured into this now.
I think you recast Ezra Miller in the last scene. It's just part of a timeline reset. And you put it on HBO Max. And you don't put it in theatres. I think that's how you get around it. You go, there it is. It exists. If you really cannot stomach Ezra Miller because of everything that's gone on, you don't have to watch it. But it's there. We're not asking you to come and pay a movie ticket price to see it.
I think it's one of those where I'm not sure if I want to see it or not.
Unless it cracks $1 billion, this movie doesn't profit because of how much has already been spent on it in various pre-production states. It's mad. Right. Or how much money might have to now be spent on it to edit it.
Well, I mean, who's chomping at the bit for this movie?
I mean, a lot of people were, but now, which is why I present to you this episode's Big Down Challenge. Ta-da!
Is this a new recurring feature?
Might be. Depends on how well you do. The D.C.E.U. is in turmoil. It's in peril.
Okay.
A series of films have come out.
Yep.
Some films are definitely still coming out.
Yep.
Others are up in the air.
Yep.
How do you, Matthew Watson, suddenly dropped into a bucket of money at Warner Brothers Studios, how do you fix the D.C.E.U. using what is already at hand?
Right. I've had a think.
In real time, that was literally about 10 seconds. That's insane.
No, oh, God.
Well, just a little recap of what's still to come. Maybe that'll refresh your memory, right?
Aquaman 2.
Black Adam.
Which looks good.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Yeah.
Which is the only one on the current release slate that I'm really excited
Yeah,
for.
because Shazam was awesome.
I love Shazam.
Shazam was awesome. Is this D.C.E.U. specific or DC generally?
D.C.E.U. specific, because the Batman and Joker, the musical, and all those things, they're completely separate.
So nothing that's going to be DC. Okay, cool.
The only other now keep in mind the DCEU is being subtly reset piece by piece, and the Flash is the film that's going to do that. We've got a Batgirl movie coming out to HBO Max. We have got a Blue Beetle movie coming out to, I think, theaters at the moment. Like but on-set shots are now leaked to the public, so it's happening. The costume looks fucking beautiful, by the way. We have Peacemaker Series 2 greenlit, spinning out of the Suicide Squad. And we have, as of this recording, a Amanda Waller show greenlit for HBO Max, spinning out of the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. There are rumours of the Suicide Squad sequel. There are rumours of a future Harley Quinn project. And there are rumours of another The Suicide Squad spin-off series that James Gunn is involved in, which was put out there by him putting up an image of Peter Capaldi's Thinker and saying ominously that we all have no idea what's in store. So there are projects happening. You can can any of the ones that haven't come out yet. You can can them.
To be fair, most of the ones that haven't come out yet are ones that I'm really looking forward to.
Unless they've got locked dates. So I'll let you, if you want to, can Blue Beetle. You can can Peacemaker 2. You can can Amanda Waller. But when it comes to like the 4 films we're waiting on, and the HBO Max Batgirl, can't touch them. Do. So, how the hell? How do you fix this mess? How?
Shit. Look, realistically, we're not going to be able to do anything with the Flash or Aquaman 2. They're going to come out as they are. So what we do from then is we damage control. So what we do is we have if you want to do anything with the Flash, Wally West Flash.
Explain.
So the Flash is one of the more well-known legacy characters in DC. So you've got DC are very good. Well, they're very good with introducing legacy characters. They're not very good at keeping the older ones dead.
They always go back to the
So,
well.
how many Flashes have you got? You've got the Barry Allen
Unless
Flash.
you're Green Lantern, then they don't bother.
You've got the Barry Allen Flash. Then you've got the Wally West Flash, who was Kid Flash, the Barry Allen's Flash, but then he became proper Flash. Then you've got Impulse Bat Allen, who then becomes the Flash in the future. And so you've got 3 Flashes basically. And then of course you've got the Jay Garrick Golden Age Flash. Then you add to that the Green Lantern, for example. You've got the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. You've got the Golden Age Alan Stewart Green Lantern. You've got the what's his bloody name? John Stewart Green Lantern.
Not to be confused with John Stewart,
Yeah,
the
not
not
that
Green
one.
Lantern. Yeah.
Not Stu John Green Lantern. Then you've got the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. Then you've got the Simon Baz Green Lantern. Then you've got your Jessica Cruz Green Lantern. Then it's like, so you've got this legacy character thing. So if you want to do some Flash stuff, you don't want to use Ezra Miller for obvious reasons. Wally West.
So going forward with the character,
Wally West, that
you
shit.
change it to a different incarnation of the character.
Yeah. You just have him. Barry was lost in the Speed Force.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
No. So you have the next Flash review or the next Justice League. Oh, you do Teen Titans, don't you? You do Teen Titans,
Explain.
and you do Wally West, and you do Nightwing or Robin or Damian Wayne, probably.
Tim Drake.
Maybe.
It's found a happy medium.
Let's do Tim Drake.
Tim Drake.
You do Tim Drake Robin. You do Wally West Kid Flash. You do not Cyborg because he's in Justice League, but you have him as your remaining member of the Justice League.
Hell, make Cyborg like the Nick Fury of the Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Like, have him in the film getting that team together.
Yeah. You have Beast Boy and you have Raven and you have Starfire. And you have...
Metamorpho!
No.
Oh. That other guy who's like red with a really long nose. from all the elemental characters.
The Metal Men.
The Metal Men, yeah.
We're not doing the Metal Men.
Do the Metal Men.
We're not doing the Metal
Why
Men.
can't we do the Metal Men?
Which one is he? I think is he Zinc?
I don't know.
Copper?
I don't know, but he looks
I don't know.
fucking stupid.
Uh,
Put him in a movie.
Yeah, of course he looks stupid. It's the Metal Men.
Can we have some gorillas?
Sure.
DC's got loads of them.
Sure.
Can we have a gorilla in there?
No, what you do is you have Flash and Aquaman 2 come out, and then you go, oh no, we've had another crisis, and that's your Teen Titans movie. So your Teen Titans movie is Kid Flash and Wally West and
Oh,
Nightwing, Dick Grayson.
right.
Don't make it Teen Titans, just make it Titans.
But Dick Grayson's dead. Or is it Jason Todd? It's never explained.
It's never explained. So
Snyder's
we can
a
do
coward and didn't do Robin.
whatever we want, but also
yeah, I said it.
But also,
Welcome to issue 1 of this podcast, bitches. He's a coward.
We've had Flashpoint,
Yes.
so it's all up for grabs.
Mm.
We only know the specifics of what is outlined in those movies, so we've got room to play, right?
Yeah.
And also, if we take all those characters off the table and say there's been some sort of, I don't know, the Monitor's taken them, or they've been lost in the fucking...
Mr. Mind did something.
Mr. Mind did something.
He was in a post-credit scene.
Mr.
Let him do
Mind.
something.
So you
Mr. Mind teamed up with Deathstroke, and they just went round in like a dog pound van, and they just captured all the heroes in little nets.
Yeah.
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 Put
So
them
you
put them
do-
in the back of the van.
You do Titans, and you do those characters. You do those next generation of legacy characters stepping up.
Sorry, what's the betting that's actually the plot of League of Super
I
Pets?
really hope so.
I'd pay good money.
What you do is you make League of Super Pets the sort of fulcrum of the next phase. No, so yeah, I think you do Titans,
Okay.
and I think you do this. You have that sort of. It's difficult to know without what they're going to do in Flash 2 and Aquaman. Flash and Aquaman 2, I should say. How much freedom you've got, but you use that as a sort of reset point for having these legacy characters take up the mantle. And that gives you a fresh, kind of like you would do with kind of like we're seeing in Phase 4 of the MCU with the new Avengers lineup, with the newer characters. I think that's what you do. I think you do a Titans movie, you have these characters pick up the mantles, so we can have a Dick Grayson Batman, which gives us leeway to introduce Damian Wayne as Robin later on and keep the Wayne legacy going. You do the Wally West Flash, and then if you do bring Barry Allen back, you can do Speed Force or alternate universe shenanigans to have him look different. We can do Wonder Woman can come back in a different form. We've got the whatchamacallit rocking out around there. The what did they call the character?
Who? What?
The
Linda Carter's
Linda
character.
Carter one. Linda Carter's Wonder
Oh,
Woman.
just that random mid-credit scene that makes you go, "Oh, Linda Carter." And what was the point? Well, that's another film we didn't take into consideration. Wonder Woman 3 has been greenlit, and Linda Carter has been announced as also being in it.
Yes.
So that post-credit scene, it turns out, was meant to be a lead-in for the third movie. But the third movie, as of yet, has no locked production dates or release date.
So I think you can turn.
You could cancel that movie if you wanted.
You could cancel that movie, but also I think you make Wonder Woman more of a legacy role as opposed to it being Diana Prince's Wonder Woman. No, Wonder Woman is the
mantle,
the scion of the gods who helps to protect the world of men.
A representative of Themyscira
Yes.
in the land of man.
Exactly. That's the Wonder Woman.
Unless this is Zack Snyder's Justice League, in which case it's even if she's just going for a piss.
Does look better.
That's the
doesn't
music.
it?
That's the music that has to play.
It's true.
Every time Jason Momoa steps into water, we've got to sing a folk song while sniffing his shirt.
Yeah. So I think that's where you do your sort of reset there, and of course also Supergirl comes into that. Keep Supergirl from and potentially Batgirl. Yeah, you don't have to do Dick Grayson and Nightwing. You just do Batgirl. Roll them into Titans.
So what he's saying is, main course of action, Pay no attention to the
Flashpoint, legacy characters,
Pay
Titans,
attention
fresh
instead
slate.
to the Teen Titans.
Yeah. Not Teen Titans though.
No.
Titans, because then you can use Ray Fisher again.
Mm-hmm.
You can have Cyborg in it, and you can go older with the characters, so you don't have any.
You can have a
weird
mix of ages, I guess.
Yeah, you can have a
Yeah.
mix of ages, but you don't. I don't want any weird sort of like.
'Cause then
especially with the female characters, I don't want any weird like over sexualization of teenagers.
Don't worry. It's gonna be fine. Like Michael Bay's not making this.
Yeah.
It's okay. Unless you get Michael Bay to direct it.
God no.
Let's keep him away from all things. For those wondering what the fuck this
In terms
the
of-
nuance and the symbolism is here, Michael Bay shoots every female cast member like they're a sex object. And in the fourth Transformers movie,
Yeah, there's the guy has the
whole
Romeo and
thing-
Juliet law on the
Yeah.
cat.
It's gross. And that's in a Transformers movie.
It's horrible.
Question. I have a question. Sir,
Yes.
I have a question. sir.
Yes, Johnson.
What about Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn?
Fine. Not a problem.
Do you want to keep her around?
Yeah.
What would you do with her?
All you need to do, whatever the threat is in Titans, you make it nebulous enough that you can do what you want with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'd Birds of Prey. More Birds of Prey, please.
More Birds of Prey with Harley Quinn
well, no.
guest starring, or
No, I suppose it'd be Gotham City Sirens, really, wouldn't it?
what about a Birds of Prey sequel?
Yeah.
Not with Margot Robbie, but she can still produce it because she did great work on that one.
Yes.
But the big draw for that one, for those who came to the original just for Margot Robbie, is a significant DC villain of some kind. Considering Birds of Prey seems to be set in Gotham, you could whip out a Batman big bad that they're not going to do anything with. For
Poison
example.
Ivy.
Well, I'd say save her for a Sirens
That's
film.
how you get it. Well, I think that's how you get into Gotham City Sirens.
Mayhaps. I don't know. If the universe is about to get jumbled up, like, give us a Joker, give us a Penguin, give us a Riddler or someone, and put them in the Birds of Prey movie, and make that the main draw. Cast an actor who people would be really excited to see in that role, and make that because there were people who like me who loved Birds
What
of
you wanna
Prey
do is-
who'd be happy to watch a sequel with those three leads.
What you want to do is you put Danny DeVito's Penguin coming back in Gotham City Sirens, in Birds of Prey 2, sorry, and be like, I don't know how I got here. I'm not from around here. I think it has something to do with Spider-Man. No.
That's the problem with DC, and this isn't a dig at DC. I'm a DC reader. I love the comics, right? They don't really have like much cultural stock outside of Batman iconography.
outside of the Trinity.
No, but just in terms of iconography. If you
Yeah.
said, right, we need to use a big DC villain in a movie who's not necessarily related to the main hero of that movie, but it's someone that, would make everyone go, oh, I love that villain. They'd have to be from Batman's rogues gallery for the general public to give a shit.
That's how you bring Deathstroke back in.
Oh! Deathstroke, the villain of the Birds of Prey movie?
No.
Deathstroke, the villain of the Gotham City Sirens movie?
Teen Titans.
Oh!
The Titans. Because he's looking to track down all the members of the Justice League, but he can't find them, so he keeps running up against the Titans who take on the mantle. He's like, you're not the real Justice League. What's happened to the real Justice League?
Universe shenanigans. Multiversal shit. Crisis times.
So maybe Deathstroke is actually sort of like an anti-hero part of...
And Joe Manganiello gets an actual payday.
Yeah, there we go.
Because he deserves it.
Yeah, there
Because
we
he's
go.
great and he waited so patiently to play that role, which he would absolutely fucking slay at.
So patient.
You could say that after he'd slayed at it, he would have slayed at it.
No!
Yeah, fair play.
But yeah, I know Margot Robbie, I do... Oh, yeah. Suicide Squad sequel.
The Suicide Squad sequel.
Yeah.
The Suicide Squad sequel.
Suicide Squad sequel.
A sequel to The Suicide Squad, which was a sequel to Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Okay, fair play.
But then how do you get it back in? But I thought that's... One, can't you?
To be fair, those members of Task Force X still have bombs in their necks. And even though Waller's not going to set them off, like... They've still got to come to a
someone
compromise.
to get removed.
So maybe it's a case where they do that and then it's intercepted. And it's more a Suicide Squad sequel, not in they're under the government control, but it's the team that we left the last film with.
Secret Six.
Secret fucking Six.
Ratcatcher 2.
Nanawe.
Bloodsport. Nanawe.
And
Harley.
Harley. Add a couple new characters in,
Not
obviously.
Peacemaker, because he's got Peacemaker Season 2 going on.
And they can't know he's alive.
They can't know he's alive.
And that show did a great job of making him a protagonist after we'd last seen him as a full-on villain.
Yeah.
So, it'd be weird to suddenly go, he's a good guy again, sort of guy, so let him join this group.
So who?
This group of people he absolutely would have murdered.
What weird group of like
Bane! If we're going Secret Six,
Bane,
bring in Bane.
Catman, Bane and Catman.
Bane and Catman. That would be good. That would be very, very
Oh,
good.
Bane and the female Atom Smasher.
Yeah?
The Legacy version one.
Yes.
Just to make
Because
the team
obviously
a bit more
We've got Atom
diverse.
Smasher coming up now in
Or
Black Adam, so you could absolutely be like, and here's one who used all of that and did bad things with it, so they're a bad guy.
the female non-villain Dr. Light, who has loads of bad press because of the villain Dr. Light, and everyone gets her confused with the villain Dr. Light.
You're not making the Google image search for this editing easy, you know that, right? Someone in the comments is going to be like, that's not the right Dr. Light. Which is
A
fine!
Dr. Light.
Which is fine, because it means I mistook them. So there
It
we go.
also mean, that's my point.
Yeah.
Just like, I knew that. No,
No, that's not me.
no, I'm
That
the
wasn't
good one.
me. That was the one-armed man.
Also, that was a dude.
Yeah.
But you're Dr. Light.
But you're Spider-Man. I'm the other Spider-Man. I'm Alan Spider-Man.
Are you a doctor of medicine? I'm a doctor of light. So yeah, Secret Six. The Suicide Squad sequel should be the Secret Six.
That's perfect.
So
you retain those 4 characters
yeah.
to make sure people know it's a sequel.
Because-
And then Bosch. Oh, God, that's really good.
Yeah, Bloodsport, Nanawe, Ratcatcher 2,
Cut corners.
Harley.
Cut corners.
Yeah.
You make it the surviving characters of the Suicide Squad and the Birds of Prey. And you make the
Well, then that's
villains
7.
in this. No, but you make the villains of the Secret Six. Well, you'd have to drop a character, I guess. But you make the villains of the Secret Six. Like for example, no offense, obviously to oh my God, she's one of my favorite characters in Batman the Animated Series, and I'm blanking.
Montoya.
Renee Montoya. Thank you. No offense to Renee Montoya, but she's not necessarily going to be going up against the super
I
threats
don't
in the same way that Black Canary.
I don't
and
think you have
Huntress
to
are.
kill her though. I think you should take her off the table.
Oh yeah, don't kill her, but take her out of the story in some way.
You
Have
know,
her be the
Huntress and Black
person on the
Canary.
inside or whatever.
Yeah, Huntress, Black Canary, Bloodsport, Harley Quinn, Nanawe, and Ratcatcher 2. That fucking slaps!
And then you bring in some other Secret Six members from the comics to be part of the antagonistic force they're up against.
It's the new Suicide Squad.
So there you go.
There you go. The
There you
new
go.
Task Force X is the Secret Six villain because it is. Yeah, they've managed to get their bombs out and stuff.
And that's why you get Bane in it.
Yeah.
Bane he's been apprehended by the forces and by special ops or whatever. And they've managed to get a bomb in his neck and they're like, right, try it. Like all of that tactical mindset and that like roided out superpower, but under the thumb of Amanda Waller.
So he's leading the Suicide Squad.
Oh, Bane
He's
leading the Suicide Squad.
Squad.
Oh my God.
Searching for the surviving members of the Suicide Squad who end up hooking up with the Birds of Prey.
And it's off the books because Waller's doing this
Yeah.
quietly because she wants to take him out on principle.
Yeah. That's how we got it.
Oh.
You get Bane in there.
Mm-hmm. And if you wanted, you could have her force like Peacemaker to be on her Suicide Squad as well. And that's your way of like going. If you didn't watch the TV show, but you still saw the post-credit scene of him being alive,
This is true.
there's a payoff.
Although, I want Peacemaker Season 2 to happen No.
Yes. What?
Peacemaker Season 2 needs to happen by wanting to keep his character development.
Fair play. In that case, you have someone using one of his helmets calling themselves Peacemaker.
Yeah! No, actually, that's a really good idea!
Because we know there's a shitload of helmets now because of the show. So you just have someone pretend to be him.
Then Bloodsport goes up against him and you have that unmasking moment. It's like, you're not the real fucking Peacemaker. And he's like,
You've got to cast another WWE person. It's going to be like Roman Reigns or someone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Someone who
Just like someone you would not expect
Someone
to
who
play
looks
the role.
enough like John Cena.
Like silhouetted, you go, oh my God. And then you get close and you go, wait a minute, hang on.
No, you just
You're
have
not
him.
Christopher
You just have him
Smith.
wear. You just have him wear a full mask,
True.
like a full face mask underneath the helmet.
I
Like
want...
with the implication being that he's like some kind of cyborg,
And it's just a dude.
but actually it's just a dude.
Brilliant. I have one last big final question
All
as
right.
to what you would do with the DCEU.
What would I do with the DCEU?
Because I've got to say, this is a good path. This is a good path. You've basically You've Wizard of Oz.
You've got to keep the bits that work, haven't you?
You've Wizard of Oz it. You've gone pay no attention to the dodgy fuckers behind the curtain.
You've just got to keep the bits that work. So you keep the bits that work and work out how to add new stuff to it.
Because like Shazam and Black Adam, inevitably they'll totally meet at some point.
That sets up the Legion of Superheroes. Not the Legion, the Justice Society.
Well, we've got them now.
Yeah.
So you can continue it.
Yeah.
And keep that going.
Hawkman, Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
Atom Smasher.
Cyclone. Cyclone's in it.
Okay.
She's in it. Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
My big question that remains is this.
Yes.
Cavill. Now, Henry Cavill is out as far as rumours were concerned, but he has openly said in several interviews in the last couple of years that, if they ever have an idea for me, I'm all ears. And Henry Cavill is undisputably one of the, shall we say, lesser problematic elements of it. Anytime he's upset or annoyed people, it seems to be momentary things that haven't stuck around long enough.
Yeah.
He's never done anything really heinous or horrible. He's obviously really well cast in the role of Clark Kent and Superman, although we've not really seen him get to play it out very much.
Yeah.
And as of Peacemaker Season 1, we know that his Superman is still a thing. So, do you give the people what they want and do a Man of Steel 2, finally? What do you do with Cavill, boyo? What do you do?
Superman comes back at the end of Justice League, doesn't he?
Yes. Yeah, in both versions, whichever canon they're going with.
And he's been around.
He's around,
been around as Peacemaker shows.
Yeah.
And Shazam.
In his black outfit.
Yeah.
So Peacemaker is acknowledging the Snyder Cut.
Is he in his black outfit or is he just in shadow?
You don't see enough of him to see the colour of it.
Okay. I figured.
And I think that was done on purpose to leave it open to interpretation.
I think it's.
Either way, I'd want him in his red and blues again. Yeah. When he comes back. But yeah.
I think it's where is Superman? I think it's a Superman Return style thing. Where has Superman been? Where's he gone?
Having a vacation. The man died. Give him a break.
He died, and now he's left us again. And then you find out that, I don't know, he's been doing... I know exactly what you do.
Oh, shoot. Do you set up a big bad?
Nope.
No?
All-Star Superman.
What? But on one condition.
What?
Can we then put All-Star Superman to bed as a reference point? Because it is a fantastic book. It is a beautiful book, but it's also become one of those, like, these are the only books that anyone who ever adapts Superman looks at.
It's very good, though, isn't it?
It is very good, but I think if you adapt it, that's got to be it then, for All-Star Superman. Like, no one can adapt it again. It can never be used as a key point of reference again. We're done now. We're done.
Then do I want to kill off Henry Cavill Superman?
He doesn't have to die at the end. Could change, like, could make it so the outcome is more just a trajectory thing.
It doesn't, I don't think it works then. That is the point of All-Star Superman, is that it's the last Superman story.
What if he doesn't die, but he doesn't stick around?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be book for book, so you could find an implication that maybe, like, because of everything that's gone on, Krypton's actually out there, and you just send him on his way to go and find it, and that's the last we see of him. Like he, Lois, you know, their kid maybe they've had their first kid or whatever. They load up into a rocket, and they fly off into the stars to go and find Krypton, and you leave it a big old ambiguous, like, there it is. Like, they're gonna have a happy ending. We don't have to see it. And if we ever wanted to bring him back, we have an excuse that he's out there. He's out there somewhere.
I know what you do.
Because of course, the further away he gets from Earth's yellow sun, he'd need the rocket, wouldn't he? He wouldn't be able to fly.
I know what you do.
Go on. I'm intrigued.
Your action prologue.
Oh.
Is
of Man of Steel 2.
Of Man of Steel 2 is he becomes
2 Man 2 Steel.
He becomes trapped in the bottle city of Kandor.
I thought you were going to say in the Warhammer
no
headquarters.
No. Enough of that. He becomes trapped in the bottle city of Kandor, and he has to fight his way out. And obviously, it's not the same bottle city of Kandor. It's like a bad version of it. You know what I mean? Fights his way out.
The battle city of Kandor.
Makes it back into the battle city of Kandor. Makes it back into our world.
Oh.
It's been 20 years.
What? No.
Superman's
No.
been gone for 20 years.
Because time works different. So
Time works different. I mean, it doesn't, but
No,
it
but
does
you
in
could
this
say
version,
that.
yeah.
It's an adaptation. Yeah.
And it is, he has to find a way to get back to Lois, to everything he loved, to get away from this world where everything's gone terribly wrong. Because you can even do it as post-apocalyptic.
That's how you could finally kill the nightmare future.
You can have the nightmare
setting.
future setting, yeah.
And you could even reveal that the Superman that
it's
Batman had nightmares
Bizarro
about
or something.
Yeah, it's not even him.
Yeah.
It was never him all along. Oh.
Yeah. That's how you
Because
bring
then
that full
all their
circle.
little freedom fighter stuff can still be happening. You just don't have to see it.
Yeah.
Because you come to he comes back after it's happened. And then that way you get a definitely canonical on the big screen showdown with Superman versus Darkseid.
Yeah.
Because it's him showing up going, how dare you? How ruddy dare you, you swine, pretend that I've been on your leash this whole time. It's like you are crap because you needed my power to get what you wanted done.
And you can
and
actually,
now I'm back to put your version of me down.
You can wrap up the nightmare stuff
Mm-hmm.
because you can have it with it taking place after the nightmare where Bruce is killed by Superman.
Yes.
So you can tell the story
Yeah.
of those freedom fighters and sort of wrap it up and say, actually, no, they failed, but now you're here. You can honour their memory by continuing that fight. And if you can erase this timeline, then you can stop this from ever happening.
Just Cosmic Tremble could be there.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need Barry Allen to
Don't need
work
Barry,
it.
you don't need
Superman
Barry.
runs as fast as him, so
You can...
maybe.
well, that's the thing. It's like, well, we did race. Maybe I can run that fast.
Well, the race depends on the camera.
Well, yeah.
Depends on which continuity.
No, that's the question. I can do all these things. Can I run as fast as the Flash? Can I get myself back there? Can I bring that home? Can I remove this tarnish of my name?
Yeah.
Of them using me to subjugate this world. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it.
I'd watch these films. I'd be excited for these films.
That's what I did.
I wish I felt this way about the DCEU all the time. Like, I've really not gelled with it overall. Like, I loved Wonder Woman, the 2017 movie. I loved Birds of Prey. Loved Shazam. I loved the Suicide Squad, and I loved season 1 of Peacemaker. And that's kind of where my admiration for this iteration of these characters ends. Like, everything else I've not cared for really at all.
I think. Going back to the Man of Steel 2 thing. Here's what you did.
Yeah. Sell a ticket. Come on, sell another movie ticket. Here we go.
Superman's a symbol of hope, right? What has everyone lost in this post-apocalyptic nightmare future?
Hope.
What does Superman do as he reveals himself to not be the oppressor, to not be the destroyer, but reveal himself in not the costume that everyone knows for Superman, but in the Action Comics style, the New 52 Action Comics style, S-t-shirt, red cape, like salvaged red cape,
Yeah.
jeans and boots, then later progressing to a properly, like, as he inspires these, like, communities of survivors, they make him the classic Superman costume. And so
by the time of the final
yeah.
throwdown, we're in the blues.
Well,
We've
it's
got-
the penultimate throwdown is him taking down the fake Superman,
yeah.
and he's in his blue and red trunks.
We've got
We've got
the
the
red
red
trunks.
trunks.
We've got the yellow bell.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it looks handmade.
Oh, it's got
Like,
to.
so
It's
it
got to
looks-
be.
It
it's got to be because that's part of the sweetness of it.
Going
I mean,
back to
come
All
on,
Star Superman.
How amazing the Superman and
Yeah.
Lois thing of like cool costume. Thanks, my mother made it for me.
Yeah.
Said with no irony and genuine admiration.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, awesome. Like the kid
Yeah.
doesn't go like, oh, that's really dumb. He's like, oh, that's really cool. It's like, yeah, it's cool. His mum made him a superhero
It's
outfit.
really cool.
Like so one of these communities making it. That would
Yeah.
be so symbolic. That'd be beautiful.
And then having take down
the
the-
mightiest thing in the galaxy.
having take down the fake Superman
Yeah.
who's wearing his colours.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. 'Cause he's
Remove
in the
that.
blue. He's the blue, red, and
He's in the red-
grey,
red-
isn't he?
yeah.
Grey,
And then
yeah.
take down Apocalypse in this suit that people have made for him, and think about again, going back to All-Star Superman, think about the Frank Quietly look, where you can sort of see the stitching on it.
Yeah.
And it looks like that, or sort of old school. Think about that.
Ooh.
That's Superman.
I'll see
Superman
that.
is a folk hero. So they can do their evil Superman. They can have, because the only thing that can beat an evil Superman is a good Superman with a Superman.
I was trying to point at the camera, and I hit the table for those listening at home.
Hey, well done.
For those watching, it didn't hurt.
So yeah, that's what I do. We do Titans. We do Secret Six to keep the bits of the Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey that worked, and we do Man of Steel 2 to wrap up the Nightmare stuff. That's what I do.
Sounds pretty solid. Now get to work. Go make them. You have no money or resources, but go!
Ah!
Well, that's it. That's what we got for you this episode. This
Indeed it is.
fine missive delivered digitally to your eyes and ears. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can do just that. bigdamcontact@gmail.com is where you can reach us. You can also support us financially. Where can they do that?
Patreon.com/BigDamnCast.
But what will you get for supporting us? Well, you'll be able to sleep better at night. We can recommend that is the best course of action. If you have any
Must be
issues,
nice.
yeah, that's he's a dad now. But also you get bonus stuff. For example, if you remember the old podcast and you'd like to know what our thoughts were on Moon Knight and Matt's review of Morbius, you can get that on Patreon right hecking now.
You get Morbius for your money bias.
Yep. The month bias of Morbius return biases. Plus, we'll be releasing a series of audio commentaries for the next episode's big topic. Want to know what they are? Patreon.com/BigDamnCast. Till then, we don't have some kind of fancy sign-off, so leave them with some advice.
When you see 3 urinals, choose the middle one.
Why?
Do you like having dry shoes?
Oh. Huge thank you to all of our patrons so far for your continued support of the show. Special extra thanks to Big Damn Ultra fan and show producer Lewis Palmer. For Big Damn perks and so much more, head to patreon.com/BigDamnCast to show support for as little as $1 a month. Or however you can choose to receive currency. We'll catch you again next time. Goodbye!